my daughter mysteriously vanished inside our own home. After days of searching with no results, I returned to the basement of the house, the last place where my daughter was seen, hoping to find some kind of clue. The moment I stepped inside, I noticed strange numbers carved into the stairs, along with a bizarre equation I couldn't understand. When I turned on the UV light in my hand, the entire wall was covered in skull-like symbols. After examining them, the police concluded that the symbols were only traces of old paint. The sheriff then asked us about the history of the house. My husband explained that the house originally belonged to an old woman who sold it to us at a low price to pay for her nursing home expenses. Early the next morning, I kept staring at the mysterious marks carved into the doors. I pointed out that every door in the house had the same kind of symbol, and every single one was different, because I believed these clues might be connected to my daughter's disappearance. I took photos of all the strange symbols and sent them to a colleague, asking him to identify the language or writing. Just as I was about to head home, my colleague called and told me the symbols were Hebrew. Individually, they meant nothing, but together they pointed to a mythical creature, Leviathan. After returning home, I turned on my daughter's gramophone. Instantly, the abacus began moving on its own, and the cabinet doors slowly opened by themselves. As the gramophone started counting, my son also began counting along with it, then slowly walked toward the cabinet. I quickly turned off the gramophone and rushed upstairs, managing to wake him just in time. Strangely, my son had no memory of what had just happened. At that moment, a strange gust of wind suddenly swept through the basement, and every light in the house began flickering before going out. After the power outage, I suddenly heard my son calling for me. I followed the sound and found that his voice was coming from the basement, but the door still wouldn't open. She looked through the keyhole, but before she could react, my son asked who I was talking to. He said he had just been sleeping in his room. The basement door suddenly opened on its own, and the electricity throughout the house came back on. I prepared to enter the basement to investigate, then I discovered that the staircase seemed endless. Suddenly, the door behind me slammed shut,